my guest tonight, I gotta tell you, they're top talent people, but again, 3 judges, a tough competition. I want to welcome to Streetwise BRANDI Thompson and Kaju. Kaju, Gesundheit.
You're welcome.
Well, you know, Gesundheit, you know what that means, God bless.
Yes.
So, which is...
Well, you know what Kaju really means in Hawaiian, which is my background?
I know.
It means cashew nuts.
Aha.
Yes.
No comment, Randy.
No comment.
Or short,
On the nut part.
short for nuts.
Okay. Now, you guys, let me start with Brandy. Now, yeah, you were dynamite, I gotta tell you that.
Thank you.
You know, but you didn't win. What's your
Well, let me correct
ahead.
you actually, because you said that there were top 2, like 2 men and 2 women who were chosen,
Correct.
and it actually wasn't 2 men and 2 women.
Okay.
Or I was part of the 2 men and 2 women
I
who
should
were
say
chosen,
that. Yes.
but only 1 man, woman, and a People's Choice person were the people
Choice.
who are going to be
Yes.
featured on this show.
Correct. Which is what, 3 and 4?
Which is what?
How many?
Just 3. Just 3 people.
And knock it down to 3.
Yeah.
You know, because actually, you know, I don't want to criticize the people that ran it, but they did. You know, there was a lot of, I think, things that could be, you know, done a little better, because we thought that we were going to pick 3 and 3, you know. And
So did we.
I know you guys
Yeah.
were told the same thing,
Indeed.
right?
Right, yeah.
You too, Kaju, was told the same thing. You just did
Yeah.
3 and 3.
And then it was
I
cut
don't
down
know
to
what
2
happened
and 2.
at the last minute, and
Yeah.
then we had to go in the room, and then they gave us a rush job. We had to, you know, really pick, you know, and narrow it down. But the People's Choice, you think, is that what knocked you out, Brandy? Is
The
that what you're
People's
saying?
Choice, I think, is what knocked me
So
out,
you-
because I was in the top 2 of
Yes.
the top 2 girls,
Correct.
and then, but the People's Choice was selected from the first round and not the second round. So like when we got down to the top 2 men and top 2 women, we had to perform again, but the People's Choice winner didn't have to perform again. So when it was finally narrowed down to the top woman and top man, and then the People's Choice was selected from their first performance and not their
Yes.
second performance. So
Which,
if the second performance
That's
had
what
been
happens.
weighted, it maybe would have been between me and her, but
I know, that's, sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, the second choice is really should have been the first choice.
right.
And there was an after party, and I told Kaju, even though he knows I was critical of him, because I did it in front of the audience, I told him, you know, you down here, you're dynamite. Maybe this is the song you should have sang, the ones that you sang at the after party.
It's a very valid point.
Yeah, so what's your feeling on that?
I think song selection is almost everything.
Mm.
If you look at American Idol, you have great singers
Right.
that choose the wrong song, and they get voted off. So it's a very tricky thing. Sometimes you think you have the right song, you don't have the right song. If we all were mind readers, we'd be able to figure out what was the right song according to the judges. But we're not that.
How do you decide, if you can, which is the right song? You know, my suggestion would be, don't do it by yourself.
No. For me, personally,
Yeah,
I have a set of songs that I've been performing over several months.
Right.
And you perform them, you see what works, what doesn't work,
right.
you tweak it. And in my case, I chose Viva La Vida because I had won several earlier rounds with that song.
Mm.
And it was working. And I know personally, I will say so myself, I'm not the strongest singer of the group. There's some dynamite singers. This lady right here
Right.
next to me is a fabulous singer.
Right.
I'm not in that category. However, I need to rely on performance more. But I'm used to performing. I have a band called Off the Hook.
Mm.
I'm used to being on stage, and so this is, you know, my comfortable element. And I try to incorporate that into the performance.
Which is fine.
Yeah. So based on that, I decided, let's go with Viva La Vida. And I was very happy with the performance. But I have to say, I love you, but we called you the evil judge. But in a nice way.
Right.
But, you know, regardless, I have to say that I was happy. It was my best performance.
Mm.
And after the actual performance, I got off stage and I went back to Asia Nitalano of the
Yeah.
Pussycat Dolls, and
Correct.
she interviewed me. And she said, well, what'd you think of your performance? I said, well, I was very happy with it.
Yeah.
But I know one judge in particular didn't care for it. And then I turned to the camera, I said, but that's okay, we know you're paid to be Simon.
I don't know about being paid.
I was gonna say, I don't think you guys get any
I know,
cash
right?
for that,
I know,
actually.
Yeah, I know. We did just
Well, maybe I
because,
stretched it there a little.
That's okay, that's okay, listen. Now, but you did win some championship events yourself, right, like in New Jersey? And you won,
Yeah, I'm actually the only finalist who
Uh-huh.
qualified for both the New York State final and the New Jersey State
Right.
final. I've done the New Jersey State in Princeton at the IVN 2 weeks earlier, May
Right.
7th. Unfortunately, did not win. That's another story over
Oh, you
there.
didn't win New Jersey?
But didn't win
Okay.
New Jersey.
But
but-
you were the finalist?
Yeah, I actually did not win the New York competition to make it to the New York final based on live venue performance. I actually there were 4 venues in New York that hosted the World Karaoke Championships. And I made 3 of the 4 of them. But in each of the 3, I did not qualify for the New York final. The only reason I made it was that on May 18th, the same day that my 3-day magazine article came out, we'll go more into that later, I was chosen as the online winner.
Uh-huh.
So I sort of squeaked in like 11th hour.
Right.
But like I knew everyone because I had
Well,
seen them so many times.
Knowing you in the short time I know you, you're gonna keep pushing ahead, and look, a lot of perseverance. You got talent, I told you that in the after show, but I wasn't happy with the song you sang, and I wasn't happy with the outfit, but that's just.
Especially the outfit.
My thought was it didn't go with the song, yes. Now, what do you find, what's the difference in singing and karaoke singing? Is there a difference in that? To me, it's singing, because now you have a band, Kaju.
Yes, I
Right,
do.
so that's not karaoke, you guys, you sing according to what you play the guitar as well, right?
I'm the band leader and I play guitar.
Guitar.
I've been doing it for over 10 years. The band is called Off the Hook.
Right,
And we perform everything from classic rock to Lady Gaga to Michael Bublé, everything.
should have sang Michael Bublé song that night.
Hey.
Oh, just.
Hindsight's 20/20.
Well, let me ask you that, but singing in the band, you sing in the groups also, Brandy, now.
By the way, I don't sing in the band.
You don't sing it, you play your guitar
I
in the
play
band?
guitar and
Guitar
I
in the
have
band.
great singers
But
in
you're the
front of
band
me.
leader, you're the band leader, okay.
I may sing 1 song or 2 here or there out of 30 or 40 songs a night.
Oh, so singing those songs, or Brandy, singing in a group or band, the difference with karaoke and singing in a group or band, what do you see is the difference?
I
if
think
any?
that, karaoke is fun, and you'll ask anybody who's
Correct.
not a singer, who loves to sing karaoke.
Yes.
It's about having fun on stage. It's about finding a song that's not just fun for you to sing, but fun for the crowd to watch you sing.
Absolutely.
And when you're performing, it isn't necessarily always about the fun. It's about the emotion. It's about your performance, but your performance in what you're projecting and not just what you want people to see.
But do you
You know what I
find it
mean?
easier, or is karaoke easier?
Oh, karaoke is much easier.
It's much easier than
Karaoke is much
singing with
easier
a
because
group
there's
or a
less,
band.
you're putting less of yourself into your
Okay, so-
performance.
right.
You know what I mean? Like when you're sitting on stage, if it's a song that you've composed, or if it's,
Right.
even if you're singing a cover of someone else's song, there's more emotion that goes into
Mhm.
singing that song so that
Uh-huh.
your audience can feel the song that you're singing. And while you're on stage singing karaoke, the difference is that you want your audience to obviously engage with you, but it's more
Right.
engaging in the fun of it.
It's somebody else's song anyway.
Exactly. I mean, although
But-
you could sing covers, like when you're on
Yes,
stage
sure.
singing a song, but like I like to sing a cover of U2's One. And
Right.
like when I'm singing that song on stage, it's awesome because I'm
Mm.
either have a band behind me, or if I'm singing it like just to have maybe the track behind me, but I'm singing it on stage as a performance for a group of people. It's different from singing it in a bar, karaoke style, when you're supposed to be singing in the style of U2 or whatever. And like I love to rock out and I'll do my own thing with it, but it's one of those things where I'll sing it because I'm having fun with the song.
Right.
I'll try new
Mhm.
things. I'm not afraid to try new things. And if I make a mistake, whatever, I make a mistake. If I'm flat on this note or I'm sharp on that note, whatever.
Uh-huh.
When you're standing in front of a group of people who paid
Right.
to see you sing,
Yes.
you are on top of
Mhm.
it. You have to be on
You
every
are
single
the
note.
performer.
Exactly, and you have to
Yeah.
make sure that your
Mhm.
audience enjoys that song as
Right.
much as you do when karaoke is not that
Do you
important.
find, Kaju, when you're with the band, do you find that with them in the background, as opposed to karaoke music, which is,
Oh, absolutely, I agree with Brandy.
Right.
And a friend of mine also brought up a very good point.
right,
Karaoke, in the later stages
Right.
of a world competition, is more like professional singing.
yes,
The difference is in the early stages in karaoke, you're putting less emphasis on evoking an emotion from your audience.
but not you guys, I gotta tell you that, you guys put in, you know, whether it worked for you or not, you did put a lot of emotion
Well,
in the
thank you.
songs that you guys sang, truthfully.
Thank you.
And in fact, everyone pretty much did that.
When you're performing in a live band for a professional situation, you need to move the audience, and you can't just sing a song, you have to create a feeling from your listener, evoke an emotion from the listener that goes well beyond karaoke singing. However, when you're moving along in a competition to later stages, as the singers get better and better, okay, you get more of that type of performance because you're no longer relying on the lyrics. You have everything memorized. Now you have one less constituent to think about, and you have more free energy to focus on creating an emotion, to moving the audience.
Well, I
You're
feel
not-
like this competition is going to be very tricky because it still essentially is a karaoke competition. It's as much as you need to be a live performer,
Right.
or at least perform in the style of a live performer and try to evoke an emotion out of your audience and things like that. It is at its basis a karaoke competition. And so with a karaoke competition, you can't forget the fun that goes into
Right.
karaoke. And so I feel like there are some people who take it so seriously. You know, there are people who, even in the state finals, you know, last weekend or 2 weekends ago,
Right.
took it really seriously and forgot about the fun they're supposed to be having. It's not necessarily always about how great a voice you have in karaoke. It's a lot of performance as well. You know, when if you're performing on stage and no one's having fun with you, like you can be a crooner and be having the best time singing that song and making your velvety voice sound amazing coming through that microphone and through the speakers. But if your audience isn't into what you're doing, it's not going to pay off.
And that fun is emotion in itself that
Right.
you're creating. While you having fun, the audience picks up on that and it becomes contagious and they have fun.
Kaju, speaking of fun, the outfit and the tambourine, how did
You
that?
hated this outfit.
No, well, I didn't say that. It didn't. I thought it didn't go with the song. That's all.
You said the outfit didn't go with the song didn't go with the outfit, and the tambourine I don't even want to talk about it.
So, let me.
But I brought it
I know
because
you-
I know that you wanted to see it again. So I brought it along with me. This is actually
Right.
it's a polyester silk
Right.
blend costume, military jacket a la John Lennon from Sgt. Pepper's
Yeah.
with a slight twist to it,
Yeah.
with black fringes and epaulets on the shoulders. That's a word I just learned last week.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm very
Okay.
comfortable in this outfit, as you can see.
Yes.
I wear it on radio shows, I wear it in karaoke costumes, contests.
Okay.
It's an outfit for radio.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, like you said, you go on there to entertain and
Right.
perform besides just standing there singing.
I have to say that I chose the song Viva La Vida, which had a very patriotic theme to it.
Right.
And although it wasn't a John Lennon-esque song,
Right.
I felt that it was sort of not a stretch to go with the patriotic military jacket along with the patriotism of the song. So, and actually the tambourine is sort of like, you never know where you put your hands in your pockets sometimes, and know what to do with your hands. Well, this is sort of like a safety blanket for me.
Yes.
And I'm able to use it as a prop and
Oh, good.
expand my wings and so forth, and really put out a performance, whether someone likes it or not.
It's like a singer that wants to hold the mic in their hand because
Mhm.
they feel more comfortable as opposed to the mic.
It was very relevant
Yeah,
to
to
the
what you
bells
do,
of the
sure.
tambourine.
I
So,
didn't think you just had it just to get me
no,
angry.
no, no, of course not.
But just to piss me off, but